Okay, so we're looking at the trading account whose purpose is to find gross profit, the profit you have after you deduct the cost of the goods sold. So for this example here, find the gross profit, right? For this information, sales revenue, 100,000. This is the money you make from selling your goods. Opening inventory, these are the goods you begin with at the beginning of the year. Okay, this is the value of these goods. Okay, purchases, this is when you the goods that you brought in during the year, the goods that you bought and brought in for resale during the year. Then closing inventory, 12,000. These are the goods that you remain with at the end of the year. All right, so we are going to do, let me use Excel. Yes, we're going to make a trading account. Let me bring this information here. Uh-huh. So the trading account has got three columns. All right. This this last column, this is where your totals, you do calculations with the totals. The middle column, this is where you're going to be doing also your calculations. Most of the calculations will be in the middle column. This first column is usually when you're making adjustments for purchases. So you start with sales revenue. That's the first item in the trading account. So the sales revenue, 10,000 or 100,000. 100,000 here. Okay, that's the first item. Then after you've got your sales revenue, the next thing you need to calculate is your cost of goods sold. Okay, so I'll put here cost of goods sold. All right. So the first item. So remember, colleagues, cost of goods sold. The formula is here. Total cost of goods available for sale minus closing inventory. So when you're tabulating your cost of goods sold, you start with your total cost of goods available for sale. Okay. So we need to add our opening inventory, 35,000. The next, we bring in the purchases. Purchases, 30,000. Since there are no adjustments for purchases yet, that's why the first column will be blank. Okay. So when you add the opening inventory with the purchases, you get your total cost of goods available for sale. Total cost of goods available for sale. Yes. Any questions up to this part? Because remember, once we're done with this topic, we're saying bye to it. Okay, we'll be saying bye to it. So once we've got our total cost of goods available for sale, to get our cost of goods sold, you need to deduct your closing inventory. So say less closing inventory, 12,000. Because remember, colleagues, as I said, you cannot make profit out of goods that you haven't sold. That's why we need to deduct the closing inventory. So we're going to say our cost of goods sold is going to be the total cost of goods available for sale minus the closing inventory, which will give us 53,000. Okay, cost of goods sold. Then our gross profit is going to be your sales revenue minus your cost of goods sold. So it's 100,000 minus 53,000. You're going to get 47,000. This is your gross profit. Any questions, colleagues? Any questions so far? Mm-hmm.